More than 60 food establishments were inspected this week as Lubbock health inspectors check to make sure they're keeping clean and keeping your family safe. So, how did they do?
KCBD News Channel 11's Christy Harton dishes out what they found. Christy?
Karen and Abner, it's a large portion on the menu this week with a mix of top and low performers. We start with those violations.
Aranda's Taqueria at 4001 Street had 19 violations. Here's a look at their priority violations. Chicken was above the safe cold temperature of 41 degrees. 2 large tubs of cooked beef were on a shelf without refrigeration. They were also not at the proper temperature. Raw bacon was stored above ready-to-eat items. Raw sausage was thawing on a wire rack above cooked sausage. There were items in the hand sinks. Hand sinks are for hand washing only to prevent cross-contamination. A hand sink and the sink in the men's bathroom were not plumbed correctly. Multiple knives were dirty. A spray bottle with bleach was not labeled. A bottle of unlabeled cough medicine was on a shelf above a prep table, and there were no food handler certificates available for the employees. The report shows most of the violations were corrected at the time of the inspection. Rise and Shine Donuts at 8001 Quaker had 18 violations. Here's a look at their priority violations. A container of milk was sitting out at a temperature of 72 degrees. It must be 41 degrees or colder. Cooked potatoes were not cold enough. A knife was touching a box of gloves. A dirty, dry wiping cloth was on top of utensils. 2 employees did not wash their hands between changing tasks and putting on gloves. An employee used their bare hands to turn off the faucet at the hand sink. A barrier, like a paper towel, must be used to prevent cross-contamination. Cardboard was used as a liner on top of the oven. Paint was stored over beverage containers. A container of medicine balm was stored above a prep table, and 2 employees did not have their food handler certification. According to the report, most of the violations were corrected while the inspector was there. Texas Trail inside the Stripes at 5802 98th Street had 20 violations. Here's a look at their priority violations. Raw chorizo and raw chicken fajitas were stored above liquid eggs. Multiple items, including shredded beef, chicken, sliced ham, and refried beans, did not have a date mark or were improperly date marked. An employee handled their personal food and other items with gloved hands and then continued food service without washing their hands. There were no paper towels at a hand sink. A box of gloves was next to toxic items. A metal dicer and a can opener were dirty. A silicone food brush was washed but not sanitized. Several food service items were cracked, broken, or melted. And the inspector notes, due to the number and the nature of the violations, food safety knowledge was not demonstrated. Most of the violations were corrected while the inspector was there. Now to the good news. Here's a look at our top performers. Dion's at 6410 82nd. Dutch Bros Coffee at 1711 Marshall Sharp Freeway. Whataburger at 6414 82nd. And Vega's Mobile Unit.
For a complete look at all those violations, just go to our website at kcbd.com and click on Food for Thought. Karen and Abner, back to you.